Hey everyone, welcome to the 2019 December update. I have quite a bit to talk about, so I'm going to get through them really quick. So, this is chapter 8. I know I said I was done, but I want to extend a certain scene because I wanted to give the audience breathing room because Black Lightning and James, they go at it. They don't hold back anymore. James don't have a reason to hold back anymore, and Black Lightning, yeah, you'll see. It gets to a point where, yeah, even he feels that I can't hold back anymore. Like, this is what I really believe. So, I wanted to give some breathing room for the audience. That way, the audience who isn't too much of a fan of that can have something story relevant or more of a situation relevant event going on that kind of breaks away from the race realism topic. And yeah, that I want to extend that scene because it was a little too quick, and then it got right back into the race, and it's like, whoa, jeez, like, can we take a little bit more of a break? And so this chapter 8, will be the conclusion to the second arc, this Black Lightning and James arc, or I'm going to call it the race arc, I guess, since chapters 3.5 and 4 set up race realism or race to be the final chapter, which is chapter 8. So I'm going to call it the race arc. Even though there are plenty of stories that have nothing to do with race going on, but this is following Black Lightning, so of course it's named after that. And so yeah, I have one more scene to do for chapter 8, and after that, that's done. That is it. I am not working on this chapter anymore. No more redos or remakes, none of that. The script is good as is. It has a conclusion, and it sets up something, sets up the third arc pretty well. And then, yeah, I'll talk more about that at the end. So, Multiverse Chamber, Chapter 3. I only have 3 more animated scenes left to go. And then it's done. It took a while, but I was switching the format a bit because being in a purely animated chapter would take too long, and I need the story plots to be released to the audience faster. So, yeah, in this chapter, the second half of the Multiverse Chamber Chapter 3, I am experimenting with the paint and animated frame by frame thing. So here's a little taste of it. All of that frame by frame painted. Normally that would have been done with the Toon Boom's native program, but I actually painted out each frame in Photoshop over and over again. So I found ways to streamline it. So of course, certain like that. Of course, I'm not drawing these two all over again from scratch. Of course, I'm copying and pasting the things that won't change, but drawing the things that do move, like his mouth and jaw. So, yeah. Of course, I'm going to streamline it because that would be ridiculous to paint all of that over again. Besides, if I do that, then the animation will look really jittery and wonky. So I don't want that. I want people to pay attention to what's more important. His, I guess, panic of this thing reaching out to him. So that's Multiverse Chamber Chapter 3. I am almost done. 3 more animated scenes left to go, and that'll be it. This was supposed to be well, whatever. I'll talk about this. Well, never mind. I'll talk about Wingless Butterfly first. So I'm on the final segment. Only have 4 more panels left to do, to paint, and then I'm gonna transfer it all to Toon Boom so I can animate the scenes that that go over the panels. Yeah, this was done when the sun was glaring in my eye. I should have went back to it, but I'm gonna do that at some point, and also give more of a beard here. That way it's a lot more symmetrical. But yeah, I'm gonna fix this up a little bit. So I'm gonna leave you in the dark. I'm not gonna explain what's going on here. Just know it's almost done. 4 more panels left. And wow, a bigger universe has been born with this. More than just Black Lightning and his alternatives you get to see in the chapter, and I guess in the stories. You actually get to see other characters have nothing to do with the main plot going on. Of course, it takes place in the universe, but it's really detached and doing its own thing. And okay, this is a tease for the next the next fragmented story. So it will follow her. Her name, she has a placeholder named Andrea, but that could change. A lot of this is work in progress, even these names here, so don't get too attached to these. So it's going to take place on Earth 2, on a desert city, a sci-fi desert city. And even though I want to give the audience a inside look of what's going on Earth 2, because the other characters, they're on different planets like Ma'at and Black Lightning and James. They're on like some uninhabited planet from, like, humans haven't landed. Well, I guess humans have landed on it, but they're not abundant there. So at the at the moment, Black Lightning and James are the only humans on that planet. And then I forget Layla, like she's on some hellish planet, Erebus. And so yeah, it's so the focus is away from Earth 2. So I want to shed some light on what's going on Earth 2. You're gonna follow her story and see what's going on. What do people started doing when they first found out that they have powers? 'Cause this is a brand new thing. Like, as far as I know, people in real life don't have powers. So, and once they got their powers, well, in this canon thing, canon story, what did they do? So this will explain what happened, or in that aspect, and this is going to be more story driven. Just like Wingless Butterfly is more, it's also grounded. So don't expect the meta politics in your face thing. So that way, there's more of a variety of stories going on here. So, and the last thing I want to talk about is that moving forward, actually starting now, these next batch of chapters that will be coming out late December, early January, is that each chapter, even the mini chapters, will have some plot relevant thread going on with it. That way, you can have your meta politics, but it's not bringing the overall plot to a screeching halt. Like chapter 4, that was plot relevant. He's just Black Lightning trying to get James to compromise. But then there was like chapter 4.5. The only plot thing happening there is that the ship was taking off and leaving planet Anansi. That was it. The plot was just so slowed down to a point where it's just that would be of course I justified it by saying it's a mini chapter, but still, it's like I gotta make each chapter count in some way. So every chapter moving forward, the next chapters you will see, they will have more of a story going on in the background, and that way the meta politics isn't taking hold of everything. I mean, it's still there. I still enjoy doing that, and I think that makes this story unique in a way. But for the people who aren't completely into it, you have more story-related things going on. And so, as you all know, that things will slow down after this next batch of chapters. But I'm going to find time to work on it because this is a passion project. I really want to get off the ground, keep it going. So, yeah, the next batch of chapters featuring Andrea will, I think I made her name pronounced as Andrea instead of Andrea. Yeah, it was Andrea. So it's gonna introduce her. I'll eventually reveal the name, the official name of this series. And once you get to hear the name, it's like, oh, I see what you're doing. Binary Rose, Wingless Butterfly. Yeah, you're gonna get it. And then you could probably guess what the eventual crossover name will be. I mean, it's corny, but it's original. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about. I want to keep this short. I know everyone got things to do, so yeah, that was it. Everything is almost done. The big 3 main chapters are almost done. They're like on the last leg. I could probably get them all done before the midway point of December. And then I'm working on the mini chapters. Once I get those mini chapters done, I'll start releasing these new chapters. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next year, January 1st. Wow, or maybe, well, it depends. But definitely January sometime then. Yeah, so see you then.